Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Hairy Muppet, and we are getting back into the third game of the quarterfinal series of ASUS ROG. It is going to be TaeJa versus GosWser, and so far, TaeJa's just been doing all sorts of awesome stuff, man. In the first game, he knocked it off with a nice bit of Banshee Harass, followed it up with some Triple M. In the second game, he just went insane on the Triple M for the entire game, and GosWser, he did the right thing. He started getting Bailings out, but it just wasn't enough. I mean, TaeJa just did it too well, and he had an awesome split of units against the Bailings, and it was just completely awesome. Definitely go watch it if you hadn't seen it already. It is really, really awesome. And yeah, right now, man, TaeJa just needs one more game, and he is off to the semi-finals to face off against Alicia, the Protoss player. So yes, TaeJa up the top left side of the map, and GosWser up the top right side of the map. So very, very, very exciting to see how these players do. And this Overlord is not going to find anything over there, but yeah, that should be fine. He's going to have a lot of fun exploring new areas, and it does look like we're going to have, yeah, a hatch into pool, which is exactly what GosWser had last time. And TaeJa just going for his standard same old style, which I think could be a couple of barracks. I think it's 3 barracks before factory or something like that. Gets a very large amount of Marines out nice and early, and then he slowly transitions into Triple M. Although we have seen him get Widow Mines, and we have seen him get Hellions as well. I'm not sure how much he'll probably be doing that, but he's definitely going to be going for the Marines, as he always does. Actually, he usually goes for a Reaper early on, but he's not doing that this game, so yeah, very, very interesting. And what's interesting as well is that TaeJa is part of the Sand Fan clan. I'm not sure if he really is. I think he's still part of Team Liquid, but interestingly enough, there is somebody called San, a Protoss player. He's going to be facing off against Dong Ray Gu in the last quarterfinals. So I wonder if it's related. It may very well be related, but yeah, I don't know. Unless they start talking about it in the chat channels, I'm probably not going to find out. So anyway, just keeping stuff down, keeping things going. GosWser is going to be seeing the expansion come out, but I'm sure he was expecting that. I mean, TaeJa was expanding on the much smaller maps, and on this huge map, extremely easy for a Terran or a Protoss player to expand nice and early, so I mean, why wouldn't you? And meanwhile, we can expect GosWser to be thinking about an early third in this game, because on a map this big, you'd really want to be thinking about an early third, because there's not too much danger of the Terran player doing a whole balls out attack really, really early. I mean, these guys, I think they attacked their own bunker just now. I'm not sure, but I think they may have. They attacked something and the Overlord was way out of range, so yeah, we'll have a look and we'll see. Yep, they did attack their own bunker. That guy has not got full health, so not very good for him. This SCV going to get knocked away by this Queen, and yeah, so far pretty standard, but the Zerg player definitely, he's actually getting a ton of workers up nice and quickly, so that will definitely help him out. But if he really wants to get an advantage in this game, I would be thinking about a very early third. Otherwise though, he is getting a nice early lair going. If we have a look at the structures, not really anything crazy, but the amount of gas he's got saved up though, that's quite a lot of gas. He's got quite a lot of gas very early on. He's even got his third extractor out, so maybe muters. There we go, the spy coming out, so it does look like we are going for muters, and TaeJa is not going to be happy about being denied the scout there, not seeing what's going on, and the spy is actually at the top ramp here, so really, really awesome. Anybody comes in the expansion down here, have a scout around, not going to happen. A drop in the back of the main, not going to see it either. So great positioning here from GosWser to see that out. He's also getting an infestation pit coming out, so that could be a whole bunch of things. It could be infestors, swarm hosts. Maybe we're even going to be seeing a hive come out. Maybe we're going to see brood lords. That would be really, really crazy. I don't know if Broodlords are going to be a very good idea, but for all we know, it may get out. And look at the amount of workers he's getting out, man. He's just going absolutely insane. I mean, TaeJa's trying to catch up, but he's only got 2 bases at the moment. And I feel like GosWser is just going for absolutely insane amounts of tech at the moment. But the question is, if TaeJa moves in with 4 Hellions, or 6 Hellions as the case is going to be, how will GosWser deal with it? Pretty well, I'd say. He's going to have this tucked up nice and close. He's even got a Roach Warren coming down there. I don't know if he actually wants roaches, or this is just a bit of misdirection to tell TaeJa, yeah, I'm getting roaches, man. I'm totally getting roaches. So there we go. Look at this. He can actually hold this off with just 1 queen because he's got the spine crawler there. If there was no spine, if this was just down a little bit lower, that queen would get killed in like 2 seconds flat. But with the spine crawler, the Hellions do not want to go in there and get owned all over the place. And meanwhile, we've got an early batch of mutas coming out, about 5 or 6 of them. TaeJa does have Marines, so he should be able to hold off, and he's even got a missile turret up there, so really, really nice defense. The mutas are going to try and do something, but what they're going to be able to do, I do not know. They're actually going to start taking out Marines. There's not that many Marines, and they don't even have stim yet, so yeah, those Marines not going to be that helpful. They're going to do a bit, but the mutas could take them out. Marines without stim, they do damage, but they don't do insane damage. And insane damage is what rips muta clouds apart. So there we go. Looks like you got infestors out as well. So obviously infestors to counter the massive amount of Marines, I guess. Fungal growth all over the place. Muta's thinking better of going into the Marine Force. There's a ton of Marines out, and they do actually have stim now, so that's going to be quite dangerous. Meanwhile, a bunch of Hellions taking out this 3rd base. The 3rd is actually going down quite late, in my opinion, for a map this big and for a Zerg player. But he's going to shove them off, get a bunch of roaches out. So yeah, very, very nice. The muta's continuing to pump out. Oh, not continuing, but he's got a decent amount. He's actually switching over to roaches now. Looks like the mutas are just going to be a bit of harassment. A ton of missile turrets. This base is wide open though. And yeah, GosWser, man, go to the main base, check it out. So they got no missile turrets at all. You can kill all the workers you want. He's not going there. He chooses a missile turret though. So man, just a little bit there. He could have gone in here. He could have killed so many. And here we go, infestors and roaches, fungal growth all over the place. And the roaches, I think, are just going to finish this off. But TaeJa managing to take out those infestors. So very nice bit of snipe there. And he didn't lose too many units, but he was, of course, going to get knocked out of there. And GosWser going for a Hydralisk Den, so he's just going for pretty much everything, and he's keeping the workers coming out in awesome style, man. He is just going absolutely nuts on the economy, and he's actually ahead in terms of supply as well. So if we have a look at the units he's got, a lot of them are roaches, but a lot of them are workers as well. And TaeJa, man, he's been getting a bit of tech for himself, a Viking, but it's mainly just mass Marines, so he hasn't got any really expensive units, and I feel like GosWser is in a really, really good position in this game. He's got the worker advantage, and he's got the army advantage as well, so really, really nice. He's got mutas coming in. It's a pity they didn't go in here. I can't believe that TaeJa still hasn't built a missile turret up there. It's just completely insane, and if only GosWser knew there was no missile turret up there, he wouldn't be messing around with this base. And there we go. He's going to get some nice ricochet kills on the workers. He actually could take this guy out, this missile turret, but choosing not to. He knows he's only got a certain amount of time before the Marines start coming in, and he does not want to waste that time taking out a missile turret. So here he goes, taking out the supply depot, getting a bit of ricochet damage, but not quite killing anything. And yeah, if you can take out the extractor here, or the refinery, whatever the hell it's called, that'll be nice. And the Marines coming back, and it's just going to go down. The muta's getting out of there, taking a few hits. Actually, another one getting lost down. A very nice drop here. But Hydras, man, and the dropship is just like, holy shit, let's get the hell out of here. So yes, not going to be fun. Actually shooting a couple of the returning mutas. And the roaches coming in to finish these guys off. The dropship is going to be taken down by mutas. So good thing for TaeJa, man. We have seen so many games, TVZ, where, I mean, the Zerg play just has an overwhelming army, but the Terran survives for so long because he keeps lifting his army into the medevacs, and the Zerg player never has any decent anti-air. But right now, he's definitely got the mutas, he's definitely got the hydras. TaeJa does have the tanks though, so we're going to have to see if a GosWser can get the perfect concave. And TaeJa knows how bad this is. He's got workers coming out to defend there. He's got a few tanks. There's mainly two or three down here though, and it might be enough, but the hydras are just shredding through everything. Roaches are dying, but yeah, in the end I think it's just going to be too much, and just, GosWser just completely owning everything on the map right there. Really, really harsh, the amount of damage he did to TaeJa, and TaeJa is just going to have to get out of the here. He's going to lose his third base. I don't know if he'll lose it, but he'll definitely lose the ability to mine from it. And all of these workers here are going to die. Yes, no, maybe. He knows they're there. He's just destroying these guys first, and then he's going to jump out. So I don't know how many guys are out. There's actually 3 workers and 3 mules there, so that would have been nice to take him out, but choosing not to. He's still quite a bit ahead though, 66 over 50, and really, really well done. Look at the drop coming in here. The Queen and a Spine Crawler, but I don't think it's going to be enough, not with Marauders coming out of the dropship, and he's going to have to scramble some forces to knock these guys back. Don't think there's much chance of the hive going down, but there is some chance. I mean, Marauders do a very beefy amount of damage, and yeah, nice transfuse on the hatchery. Where are the forces? Here they are, going to come just in time, and the dropship getting taken out by the mutas, so all those forces are going to die. Meanwhile, the 4th hatchery coming out for GosWser, and he is just completely off the chain right now. And I mean, it all came down to the first 5-6 minutes where he just went absolutely insane on workers. He went about 15 workers ahead of what TaeJa was, and from then on, he just made it work. And TaeJa never really pushed him hard at the right time. The previous couple of games, TaeJa's been pushing him hard really, really early. He did push him hard around there, but he managed to get 2 infestors out, and I think those 2 infestors really saved his bacon, as well as the roaches that he had at that point. And yeah, since then, getting that economy out has just been so good. And look at this thing, it's going to go down. TaeJa's going to be put back on 2 bases, and the tanks are trying to do something, but he doesn't have, he's got a decent amount of tanks, but he doesn't have a large amount of tanks. So I do not know. With 4 bases coming out, and with the 3rd base constantly being knocked back, it was actually completely taken out there, he's got to rebuild it. Yeah, man, TaeJa is not going to be in a very good position. Look at the workers, man. 81 workers for GosWser. This is extremely high level Zerg macro at its absolute finest. It's 81 workers. You very rarely see more workers than that. And he's just going to go absolutely crap. Look at the army, man. TaeJa's lost already, and he doesn't even know it, man. He's 70 army supply behind. They're just going to go in, going to wipe itself out. And look at the resources, man. Even if he loses all his forces, he can re-macro an army up in 2 seconds flat. And I mean, TaeJa just let the game get away from him. He let the sheer amount of workers get away from him. He let GosWser macro up a stupendous amount, and he really didn't do anything about it. I mean, there were opportunities when TaeJa could have gone in. He tried. He got a drop up there, and he tried to do something, but it wasn't the real balls to the wall dropship attacks that he was doing the first 2 games, man. He really could have done more with those dropships, but I mean, he didn't. He didn't, and GosWser got the army advantage. Boy, did he have the army advantage. And the tanks were nice, but they just didn't get it done, man. There were just too many roaches, too many hydras, and yeah, GosWser, man, just awesome play there. And yeah, I'm not so sure anymore that TaeJa is going to win this battle. It may be Alicia versus GosWser in the semi-finals after this very, very strong showing. And TaeJa, he's going to have to clamp down on GosWser in game number 3. He's going to have to just shut him down, because he let the Zerg macro just get way too big, and GosWser just completely dominated him. He had so many units, it's not even funny. And yeah, TaeJa should have shut him down a lot earlier than that. So there we go, game number 3, GosWser getting back into it and showing what Zerg macro is made of, and we are going to be heading on to game number 4, and will GosWser just dominate once again with that insane amount of army, or will TaeJa shut him down nice and early? That is the question, and who knows, maybe we'll see a 10 ball or something. I will catch you guys in that game though. So this has been Hairy Muppet. I hope you enjoyed this game.